Hey guys, it's a new week. So this is your weekly reading for March 19th through the 25th of 2018. And this week we have Mercury going retrograde on the 22nd in the US. For some of you it'll be on the 23rd. So Mercury goes retrograde on March 22nd at 5:19 p.m. Mountain Time and goes direct on April 15th at 2:21 a.m. Mountain Time. So you guys can convert for whatever time zone you're in. Hi Sylvia, thanks for watching. So I was going to do the reading first and talk about Mercury retrograde afterwards, but I started talking about Mercury retrograde first, so I think we'll go with that first and then we'll get into the reading for the day. Kathy, are you watching too? So a lot of people get kind of stressed out during Mercury retrograde. They like dread it, they fear it, all kinds of, you know, chaos, drama, stress, whatever. But it really doesn't have to be that way. It's not really, hey Kathy, good to see you. It's really not a bad thing. I think there just needs to be some perspective around it. So let's see, where do I start? There's so much to say about Mercury retrograde. So it's not actually going backwards in the sky, it just appears that way. And so it appears for things to be like not going well or right, but it doesn't mean that that's actually true. It's just a perspective. It's just a what's the word I'm looking for? Perception. There we go. It's just a perception thing. So Mercury rules communication and technology and transformation or transportation. Goodness. See? Okay, classic thing. I'm already feeling it. So communication. So this is a time where, and not that we shouldn't be doing this all of the time, this is something I think getting through Mercury retrograde is going to be applying the things that we should probably be doing all of the time, no matter what day of the week or year or is going on in the sky. All of the things that we should be doing all of the time anyways, just sort of enhanced, is going to help you get through Mercury retrograde. So because Mercury rules communication, there will probably be little slip-ups like I've been doing already, like mixing up my words. Miscommunications kind of sometimes happen. People tend to not listen so well. They may be trying to be in a hurry or rush through things or whatever, but those are all of the things that are going to kind of trip you up and make Mercury retrograde kind of difficult. So the key to surviving Mercury retrograde is to do all the things you should be doing anyways, more diligently. So, but on top of that, it's also a time for reflection. And so I kind of like to tell people, like, you know, farmers plant their crops at a certain time of the year and they harvest them at a certain time of the year. And if they were trying to plant them at a different time, they would get a different result and they would probably be really frustrated of how things were going. They may not have a bigger harvest or whatever. And so it's a phase of when to do what sort of thing. So Mercury retrograde doesn't mean hide, doesn't mean stay indoors, lock your doors, ignore people, don't communicate. It means there's a time for certain things and a time for other things. And so if you're trying to push something through that it's not really time for, then you're going to have trouble with it. Like trying to harvest like fruit during the winter, you're probably going to be pretty frustrated trying to be able to do that because it's not going to be there. So retrograde starts with the letters R-E. So anything that starts with the letters R-E is going to be a good thing to be doing during retrograde, like reflect, reflection, revisiting things, readdressing things, reminding yourself of things, reminding others of things in a gentle, nice, kind way, not in a rude, condescending way. It's a period of reflection. So going within, for those of you who are familiar in the business realm of the whole scrum theory and idea, Mercury retrograde is like an astrological scrum. So a scrum can be quick and done within 15 minutes or so, like going over, so like, what did I do, or what have we done up until now? How did it go? What went well? What didn't go so well? What got in the way? And how are we going to do things better next time? So that's like things that people typically will do in the business world, like either every day, every week, whatever. And it can be done fairly quickly. So Mercury retrograde, think of it as an astrological 3-week scrum. So a period of reflection for 3 weeks, a period of reflecting on what you've done, on what's gone well, what hasn't gone so well, what maybe needs to be tweaked or revisited and reorganized or readdressed or reassessed and done a little bit differently. So it's a very, very good time for this. So it doesn't mean nothing gets done. In fact, a lot can get done. Mercury retrograde can be your most productive and best time of the year if you do what's right for that time. But if you're trying to push through things and be crazy and get other stuff done or whatever and not reflect on anything, then you're probably going to have a pretty hard time. Let's see. Realigning yourself with what it is that, so making sure that your words are aligning with your actions, and making sure that your words and actions are aligned with what it is that you want, what it is that you value, realigning with your purpose. It's a really good time for all of that, which means taking things a little bit slower sometimes. So it's because it could, Mercury, see, okay, this is a classic example of it happening, but it doesn't mean I'm going to shut this off and okay, I'm not going to do this Facebook Live because my words are getting stopped up. It means I'm going to slow down and be diligent and think it through and reassess how I'm going to say things, and just keep going through it, and it'll be far more effective. So I think this is really good too, because it's showing you an example of how to get through. So let's see, what else did I want to say? Okay, so recommitting also to the things that you love, recommitting to yourself, recommitting to your purpose, recommitting to the people that you love and care about, and the activities that you really want to be involved in. So anything that begins with RE is a good thing to be doing during Mercury retrograde. And so, oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. So Mercury, see, the word I'm wanting to say is controls, but that's not the word I actually want to use. So Mercury kind of rules communication. And so when it is in retrograde, there can be communication issues, little snap, not finding the right words often is going to be happening. And so being gentle with yourself, being refocusing, realigning with what it is that you're wanting to say. There can be a lot of miscommunication. So a message can be delivered not necessarily the way you intended it to. So be mindful of how you're wanting to deliver your message. Messages can also be received in a way other than you had intended for them to be received. And so communication is really, really refocusing on your communication is going to be important. And also checking in. So this means like the things that you say, and listening is going to be super, super huge and important. Listening to make sure that you understand, and then verbalizing to the person, this is what I'm understanding. Is this accurate? You know, and so there can be these clarifications and re-clarifications during conversation, as opposed to interpreting a message or giving a message and either getting upset or the other person getting upset and then reacting. So not reacting. That's the only RE one that you're going to want to avoid. So instead of being reactive and impulsive, which is going to probably come up quite a bit during this Mercury retrograde because it's in Aries, and Aries is the god of war and can have a temper sometimes. So a lot of you may be quick to be impulsive, maybe be quick to be reactive, maybe quick to judge, quick to get upset, quick to argue or debate. And so in those moments, like, really make sure that you've actually understood something correctly, because you may be getting upset over something that's actually a non-issue and you've just misinterpreted it. Or you may have communicated your message in a way that you didn't actually mean to. So being clear with your communication, and then making sure that you understood or the other person understood you. So just checking in and verifying and making sure is going to help things happen much better for you. Saving your documents, because Mercury also rules technology. So save if you're working on something, save often, and back it up. And Mercury also rules transportation. So be very, very mindful with your driving. People may be kind of impulsive with their driving. They may be quick to temper in their driving. And so if they are, let them be, just wish them well, off they go. You be mindful about what it is that you're doing and driving, and be mindful for, you know, potential accidents to happen. Because if you're mindful of it and you see it and you catch something and you can avoid it, then that's the way you can survive it, you know. But if you're not paying attention, then things can just happen like that very quickly, and then it's like frustrating, and there could be delays. So another good thing to do to help you get through Mercury retrograde is to really give yourself some extra time to plan things, extra time to work through a project, extra time to get places. If you're driving, there may be delays because of vehicle accidents, or people just being frustrated and arguing, which kind of will slow things down. So yeah, just be mindful, go within. It's a good time to reassess things from the past, projects that you've already been working on for a while. Reassess those, make sure everything's in alignment with the way you want it to actually be going. Make sure that you're listening to people and really understand what it is that they're saying, and so that you don't just react in an impulsive, angry, upset way. And when those feelings of anger come up, or frustration, or what else did I have here? Yeah, like temper. If you're finding yourself losing your temper or getting angry or getting frustrated, then it's a good time to revisit what's actually underneath that. So sure, maybe so-and-so's being a jerk and that's why you're angry, or that's why you're losing your temper, but what's really under that? Like, because it's not just about that other person doing something to piss you off and make you reactive. It's about something under that, like either feeling not good enough, or feeling inadequate in some way, feeling not listened to, feeling unheard, a lot of those things. And so readdress those issues and emotional things that are underlying the actions that you end up being reactive about, which tend to trigger your temper or your anger or your frustration. So it's a good time to go within and readdress those things. Okay, so be flexible, save often. It's a period of reflection. It's a period of getting things done, but getting things done that you've probably already been working on, not necessarily starting new things, unless you really, really feel guided to do that. But make sure you scrum it, you know, like, okay, what have I done? How is this going? Is this in alignment? So reassess, constantly reassess, readdress, revisit, re-examine, recommit, listen, communicate effectively, check in to make sure, like if you're sending something in the mail, or hardly anyone uses a fax or whatever, but email or mail, if you're sending a type of communication, then just maybe call and check to make sure that they received it. So yeah, those kind of things. Be flexible, be willing to listen, be willing to communicate in an effective, gentle way. And when you do feel yourself getting upset or losing your temper, then readdress what's underneath that. And you will completely survive Mercury retrograde, just like you survive every other day of your entire life. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a really, really good thing. Okay, so getting to your reading for the week. Let's see what we've got. Patience is a really, really good thing during Mercury retrograde also. Lots of patience. One of our usual cards. You guys have come a long way. There's still a ways to go with, and in this case, it's with communication and nurturing your thoughts. So yeah, definitely that's going to be a big thing when we're in a week where we're going Mercury retrograde. And awesome, I love it. At the center of the week is connect with your intuition. Really, really, really connect with your intuition. That's going to help you and guide you to know where it is that you need to recheck something or revisit something or recommit to how you're going to communicate or recommit to listening. And your card, here's your typical card, a big decision. Again, it's moved. These cards actually swapped places from last week. So interesting how these two keep coming up. So again, a big decision coming up this week. Let's see. And justice. This was in the reading last week also. So, but this one was further down. I think now it's up in the current present situation row. So interesting. At the center of the week is definitely needing to follow your intuition. Really, really connect with your intuition. That will help you with the decision that it is that you're feeling like you need to make. It will help guide you into the direction of balance and justice. Use your intuition as well as far as what it is that you're kind of putting into your words. What it is that you're putting into like your thoughts and your awareness. So be mindful of what you're watching on TV. If you're watching things on TV or you're around people who are talking about things that are really just not healthy for you, then walk away, turn it off, go in a different room, change the conversation. So be mindful of how you're being intellectually stimulated, and also be mindful of your thoughts. You've come a long way in this, and there's still a ways to go. And so really recommit to following your intuition this week. It will help you make that decision, and it will help you move into the direction of balance and justice. So what's to come? Awesome. A victory. A physical message. Possibly still some debate. And this looks like, okay, so some of you are probably going to be struggling with regarding making this decision. Let me see if I can move this a little bit. Can you see here? Okay, so debate. Looks like there's some debate coming up, and naturally that would happen. Arguments, frustrations, arguments with people, debating with people. That's probably going to be a common thing that happens during Mercury retrograde, especially when it's in Aries. So really connect with your intuition, recommit to what it is that you want, the way you want things to go. Hold on, there we go. Okay, so there's also probably going to be some debate over whether or not it is that you're receiving this message from your intuition or whether or not this is coming from fear. And whether you're making a decision from a place of intuition or a place of fear. It looks like there's going to be debate over that this week. It's common, it happens. Again, like the way you get back to that is by not reacting, by getting to what it is that you're actually feeling and what it is that you need and what's underneath those feelings. Like, why are you upset? Why are you really, really upset? You know, like, it's not the surface level thing that you think it is. It's deeper than that, and it's probably a few more levels deeper than that. So ask yourself why often. Why is this? And why am I feeling this? And why am I feeling this? And what's underneath this? And that's going to help you get to the root of how it is that you're feeling, which will help you figure out what then it is that you need. And then will be very clear to you whether or not you're making a decision based on fear or your intuition. This is super awesome too. You really are going to have a victory with the way you communicate this week. I love that. So happy for that. A victory in the way of how you communicate and a victory in the way of what it is that you're allowing yourself to be intellectually stimulated by. And so tuning out the things that really are not helpful or healthy for you is going to help free up your mindset hugely and to help you communicate more effectively. And this is super cool. So again, with your decision that it is that you have coming, something's really going to kind of come out of nowhere and help you make that decision and help you feel balanced as well. So I love when this card comes up, a gift kind of out of nowhere, like an unexpected surprise that's really, really very helpful. Okay, the forces operating in the situation are, yeah, so again, okay, this is very much, I think, related to Mercury retrograde in Aries. Now, like, this is not an excuse to be a shithead. Mercury retrograde in Aries is not an excuse to be a shithead or to view other people as just being shitheads. Like, okay, so Aries is the god of war. Aries is very action-oriented, very forward-moving, and but Aries can also actually be very, like, generous and helpful, wanting to help people. So when you feel like something is being taken from you, which will probably be a feeling that comes up this week, like something's not going your way, something's being taken from you in some way, this could really lead to debate and argument and feeling defeated in some way. So consider what else it might mean instead. As opposed to, this is being taken from me, maybe it means this is something that is not meant for me or is not in my best interest. Or maybe this is actually someone taking on a job that's actually helping me, like by someone taking on some extra responsibilities that I was going to do. You may interpret that as, oh, they're taking away my job, or they're doing what I was supposed to do, taking away my glory, when they may actually be doing something to help you. So instead of feeling defeated, then it could actually be a blessing coming out of nowhere and somebody's actually helping you. Don't be quick to interpret things as a threat. That's a huge thing this week. Don't be quick to interpret things as a threat. Yeah. That's a hard one, huh? Don't be quick to interpret things as a threat this week. If you do interpret something as a threat, then verify with the person. Like, is this what you're really meaning, or are you really just, helping me with this? Or I heard you say this. Is this what you really mean? Because it may not be what they mean, or even if it actually is what they mean, they may reconsider. They may have been reacting to something and putting up a threat because they feel the need to be defensive about something when they can let that go. And so confronting things that initially feel like a threat, and questioning, like, is this what you really mean, can really help resolve a situation this week, and can really move you from a place of feeling defeated and into a place of emotional progress and moving forward with a new emotional beginning and a victory. And to really, really, like, that would be a huge victory to communicate to somebody that this is what I am interpreting you saying. Is this what you actually mean? I just want to make sure that I'm understanding you correctly. And to resolve that situation would be a huge victory than to be reactive because someone else was being reactive because they were hurt, and to just kind of like piss a good thing away. So when you feel like something's being taken from you, reassess the situation. Is this really being taken from me, or is this somebody taking something on in order to be helpful for me? And question, don't question them in a condescending way or a threatening way, but in a way of, this is what I'm hearing you say. I just want to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. Is this accurate? Will be huge in resolving issues that come up. Okay. Yes. Outcomes. Nice. So, yeah, outcomes are definitely going to be like celebration, like celebrating that victory of having come through a difficult conversation that could have easily become an argument or a debate and then resolved it peacefully. Like, celebration with that. Also, getting out and like mingling with people this week is going to probably feel pretty nice. But again, you're going to have to really be mindful of what it is that you're wanting, what outcome it is that you want. Are you wanting to resolve a situation, or are you really just wanting to fight for the sake of fighting? Because that's probably going to be a feeling that comes up. And when you feel like something's being taken from you and you run the risk of being defeated, then you're going to, part of your brain is going to kick into that fight or flight situation and just want to prepare for battle. So you can either prepare for battle, or you can resolve the situation peacefully and happily with people. It's really going to come down to a choice this week. And either way, whatever it is going to happen very quickly. So you could be very quickly to get into arguments, or you could be very quickly to resolve a potentially argumentative situation. But things are going to happen fairly quick this week, so be mindful of what it is that you want. Make sure your words are matching with your actions, and make sure that your words and actions are matching with the desired outcome that you want, with your purpose, with what's important to you. Yeah, you can totally make it a hugely victorious week. Or you can choose to battle and be defeated. So if you go the battle route, you will likely be defeated. All parties, because it just doesn't feel good on either side, Okay, so let's go with a Wayne Dyer inspiration card for the week. Ta-da! Feel intense, burning desire. Classic Aries. Feel feel intense burning desire, but this is the good side of it. The quality that stands out among those who feel inspired is a quality of intense burning desire. The intensity of your desire needs to be so great that your love for who you are and what you do precludes the possibility of any boredom, tedium, or weariness, or, and I'm going to add to that, arguments. So let this burning desire, this Aries energy, be the burning desire for good. Let it be the burning desire for clarification, for reassessing things, for recommitting to your life purpose, for recommitting to peace instead of war, right? You can have that same burning desire that Aries has that just fuels things for something good instead of for arguments or for reacting. So I love that. That's so awesome. Feel intense burning desire. Use that Aries energy, that Mercury retrograde in Aries energy, to fuel that burning desire for good things, for clarification, to double check things. Like, use that energy to just double check and verify and make sure and clarify and communicate effectively, and to listen. It's going to be huge to listen and then clarify that what you're hearing is what you're actually interpreting and understanding to be accurate, and then not reacting but resolving. Beautiful. It's going to be a great week, guys, because I know you can make it happen, because you are amazing, amazing people. So have a great week, and I will see you soon.